Okay, let's just dive right in, because today we are tackling an absolute master plan. It sounds like pure sci-fi, but I promise you, it's actually grounded in meticulously researched, cutting-edge physics and engineering. We're going through the ultimate explainer of how we could, physically, construct a network to play a video game with someone living 1,000 years in the future. Yep, you heard that right. We're talking about building the chrono internet. So let's break down the actual mechanics of this temporal multiplayer stack.
Now look at this number, 1.9 billion. What's really interesting here is that this is our latency budget multiplier. I mean, if you want to play a fast-paced shooter with someone just 10 seconds in the future, you could theoretically use short-term retrocausal modems. But for 1,000 years? Well, absolutely no quantum bit is surviving that long. Playing a standard game is physically impossible when your round-trip ping is literally 2,000 years. So we have to completely flip our thinking from latency to longevity.
To solve a ping issue of that magnitude, we have to split our master plan into two distinct halves. Let's start with Phase 1, the forward channel, which is all about how we physically hurl our game invite deep into the future.
Now, we obviously can't just use standard fiber optics for this, right? The infrastructure simply wouldn't survive the centuries. Instead, we have to build this wild hybrid architecture. Our network strategy here is 99.9% archival now, paired with a tiny 0.1% retrocausal hint later. Basically, we bury an indestructible packet today, and then we just wait for a future player who presumably has access to time-bending physics to ping us back.
And this right here, this is our extreme hardware shopping list. If your data packet has to survive for 10 millennia, standard hard drives are totally useless. We need to anchor our data on 5D quartz disks etched with super precise femtosecond lasers. These things are basically immune to time and can survive for 13.8 billion years at roasting temperatures. And just to be safe, we back that up with lunar sapphire built for vacuum environments, DNA encapsulated in silica, and permanent Arweave blockchain storage to give us radical, overkill redundancy.
But we can't just leave these disks buried in the dirt and hope for the best. We have to construct a physical, 5-layer survivalist onion beacon so a future player can actually locate and decode our game invite. The outer shell, layer 0, is made of tantalum, which doesn't even melt until it hits over 3,000 degrees Celsius. Inside that, we stash a 14 pulsar map acting as a cosmic clock, a Rosetta nickel disk for Lincos language translation, a stainless steel QR code laying out the game rules, and right in the center, our quartz and DNA core.
So what are we actually playing? Like we said, we definitely can't play a fast-paced shooter, but a deterministic lockstep game with tiny packet sizes, that fits our massive latency budget perfectly. We're talking about native millennial games. Think Civilization 1000, where you make exactly 1 turn per year using a microscopic 12 bytes of data. Or Go 1000, played at 1 stone per year, stretching a single match over hundreds of years. We just pass a small, self-validating packet forward in time.
Okay, so that handles getting the invite to them. But that brings us to Phase 2, the retrocausal return ping. Because how does a player in the year 3026 manage to send their move back in time to us right now?
This is easily the most mind-bending piece of our puzzle. We're pinning our hopes here on something called a PT absorber duplex. You can think of it kind of like tugging on a quantum rope, where the other end is held by someone in the future. By modulating a superconducting load in the year 3026, an advanced wave travels backward in time. Today, we use highly sensitive sensors, specifically a squid electrometer, to detect this tiny electrical ripple before the source was even emitted. Wild, right?
On top of that, we deploy a secondary retrocausal protocol today. We do this by placing a de Sitter time quasi-crystal inside an Axion haloscope, which is basically a dark matter detector. In simple terms, we are setting up a highly calibrated quantum trap. We are physically listening today for a shark spectral peak that directly correlates to a random number generated by our opponent 1,000 years from now.
Now I know exactly what you're thinking. The massive elephant in the room, the grandfather paradox. If our future opponent sends a game move back that somehow stops us from building the beacon in the first place, or tells us not to start the game, doesn't reality just break?
Well, the crucial point here is that we implement branching transaction IDs. In this architecture, temporal paradoxes are essentially just treated as latency jitter. A Novikov quantum error filter ensures that any packet that contradicts our history is simply dropped as an inconsistent packet.
the game state remains deterministic. So no, the universe doesn't explode, you just fork the timeline.
All right, let's keep going and look at Phase 3, evading the physics police.
Because you might be wondering, how does this master plan legally skirt the absolutely unbreakable laws of quantum physics, specifically the no communication theorem? The secret is that we actually aren't using quantum entanglement or collapse to signal backward. Instead, we're relying on classical field effects. By using half-advanced, half-retarded boundary conditions in Maxwell's equations, we're essentially catching the echo of a wave traveling backward in time. No quantum measurement rules are broken. It's just a macroscopic, physical connection between past and future.
And to tighten our loop and actually test this today without waiting years, we could use a chronocrystal traversable telegraph. This involves chains of 7-qubit SYK quantum dots and Floquet drive modulation to literally create a traversable microscopic wormhole on a 3mm microchip. By stabilizing negative energy, quantum information passes through this bulk space faster than the boundary light cone. It is, for all intents and purposes, tabletop teleportation.
So let's string the red yarn across the board here and map out exactly how we get this temporal network online with Phase 4, the Chrono Internet Roadmap. This 10-year development plan takes us methodically from theory to reality. In year 1, we build a tabletop setup to send a single bit back 1 nanosecond. By year 2, we scale that up to a kilobit file transfer. Year 3 brings a full duplex time loop where you could theoretically chat with yourself 1 second in the future. By year 5, we're aiming for a playable, time-shifted demo of Pong. And in 10 years, a global chrono internet backbone. And just to ground this manic sci-fi vision in cold, hard reality, everything needed to execute Phase 1 is currently available off the shelf to a well-funded university lab right now. For about $1 million, you can buy the Blue Force dilution refrigerator, the superconducting resonator, the squid magnetometer, the digital converter, and the GPS atomic clock. The hardware literally already exists. But because normal corporations and nations will inevitably die out before our 1,000-year game ends, the final puzzle piece is institutional survival. How do we legally pay to keep the beacon safe for a millennium? Well, we establish a perpetual trust in South Dakota, which conveniently has no rule against perpetuities, seeded with a $200,000 corpus. A conservative 4% safe withdrawal rate gives us $8,000 a year. We pair this with a Wyoming DA LLC that recharters every 25 years, plus a long now lifetime membership to fund the beacon's maintenance indefinitely. Which leaves us with the ultimate realization as we wrap up this explainer. This isn't just a science fiction thought experiment. It is a meticulously researched dossier with a lab-ready bill of materials. The hardware is ready, the math checks out, and the temporal protocols are written. So, if you were to start building your forward-channel beacon tomorrow to lock in a match with someone 1,000 years from now, what game are you playing?